My name is Chris Doyle. I'm the owner of Mountainside Gardens and Florist in Boonesboro, Maryland. I've owned the business since 1997, so it's about 14, 15 years now. We offer a wide variety of hanging baskets, annuals, bedding plants, vegetables, perennials, shrubbery, and also a full line florist for weddings, funerals, anniversaries, that type thing. The LED sign is the new and upcoming signs, I think, well, they've been around, but I'm the first one in the Boonesboro area that purchased an LED sign. I've seen them around. I think they really get their message across. The LED signs, after we started checking on them with being able to change the message on the board, it seemed like it was a lot easier through the computer instead of going down and taking letters off, putting letters up, that type thing. And they're a lot more colorful. We was on the internet looking at different sign companies, and Advantage is one that we contacted. We talked to J.C. Borlina. He's the sales rep. He was very, very helpful. He stayed in contact with us. If we had any questions, he'd go out of his way to answer our questions or find the answer to the question, and then also their price. We turned our sign on, I think it was on a Tuesday evening, right before Valentine's weekend, and we turned the sign on, I'm thinking around 3:30 in the afternoon, and we was watching people as they drove by, and we could not believe the amount of people that were turning their heads and looking at the sign. And then also that weekend, Valentine's weekend, we had a fair amount of people turn around and come back and ordered flowers because they didn't even know we was a florist here. And the florist shop's been open almost 4 years now. So they couldn't believe that, they didn't see the florist part here before. We have found more people coming in and buying like hanging baskets. We put a special on hanging baskets. A lot of people come in, and I started asking, how did you know? Was it the newspaper ad or the sign? And a fair amount of them said, no, I seen it on your sign. I was across the street and just happened to look over and seen the $8.99 flashing on the sign. So we have picked up, without a doubt, some business because of the specials on the sign. We had some slides made. I think Heath at Advantage LED made the initial several slides, but my brother has been making all the slides ever since. I think the software that they offer is pretty easy to work with. The Advantage LED, as far as any type of tech support, I would call them, and if whoever they would put me in touch with, if they couldn't get the question answered, they would either put me through to somebody else or they would have someone return my call. I'm going to say that profits have probably went up, of course, with the economy the way it is today. The sales on flowers, that type thing, have kind of went down over the years with the food prices, gas prices going up. Not as many people are spending as much money in flowers. But with this sign, I feel that with the LED sign from Advantage, I have gotten more people through the door because of the specials that they've seen on the sign, on the LED sign. Some of the people that have seen the LED sign and came in, I've seen them back time and time again after the initial time. So yes, I've seen an increase in people coming back because of the LED sign. Across the street, they're probably the most competition for me in this area. They started out small and they've gotten bigger and bigger. And the other reason I ended up getting an LED sign was my business sets back off of the road. I have a parking lot in front of the business, and they're right along the street, and they set all their flowers. So when you're coming down the road, you see their flowers out along the front, where mine are from the main greenhouse here to the rear of the greenhouse. So out front is my parking lot, and I don't have flowers sitting right on the sidewalk like they do across the street. And that was the other big reason that we went with an LED sign, something that would catch people's attention. I get comments all the time from local people. When I see them out and about, they make a comment, about how much they like the sign. It really looks nice. And then also we were able, with the LED sign, we have our high school, or our Boonesboro emblem up there for the Warriors. It's Boonesboro Warriors. That's on there all the time. And then when we have high school kids that go to the states, like track and field, if they place if they place 1A in the states, then we usually put their name up on the LED sign for them. And we've had a lot of parents, coaches, either stop in or call and say, hey, I'm glad you did that, and they thank me for putting their kid up on the board. I do have an opinion of Advantage LED signs. They've been very, very helpful from the very first step, from the initial phone conversation about purchasing an LED sign, walked us through the whole process, and even through the final leg of the installation. And they were just a great bunch of guys to work with. And even now, if we have a question, we either call JC or Heath or Katie from Advantage LED, and if they can't answer it, they always get us an answer very quickly, or they'll have someone return our phone call. So their tech support has been very, very good for us, very helpful.